Hello, everyone. I hope everyone is off to a great start this week. Well, I'm jumping on here real quick to show you guys my setup of the Unbothered journal. I've gotten a couple of questions on the layering and how to set up your monthly and things like that. So I've already done my August one, but I'm going to backtrack and do my July just to show you guys how I went about doing that, okay? So I'm going to start with my layer sandwich here. And as you can see, I got quite a few layers on here, but they're making sense to me and they're really helping me keep everything organized. So I have my background, and that's going to be when I want to switch out my background. I did one for stickers behind the cover, and that is because sometimes I put things on the background and then I want to isolate them out, and it's easier for me to select them, move them when I change my mind by putting them on their own layer. Then I did the notebook when I want to switch out the covers. I did a tabs layers where I can put my tabs when I change them out. I did a paper layer so that you can put like your dark mode, your bullet journal, paper, your craft paper, things like that. And I thought it was a good idea to separate that from the notebook because, like I said, sometimes you want to have a more layered effect. So that way you can put something on the notebook and then it'll look like it's sandwiched between the notebook and the paper. So it just gives you that visual aspect of it. And it keeps it nice and separate so that you can easily go in there, select it without having to move anything else around. The next one is my templates. That is where I will put obviously any templates that I'm using. My month dates, that one I have specified just for this calendar overview. I may actually use that one in my dailies and in my journal just so that I put my dates when I date my pages. That'll just keep it tidy as well. Then I have my stickers layer. I have my text layer where I write all my stuff. And then the edit layer, I use that for if I'm working on something, like say I want to group things together and I want them to be selectable easily, I'll work on them on that layer. And then when I decide where they're going to go, then I'll send them to their layer from there. Okay, so that's what my sandwich looks like. It's really working for me. Maybe that'll be something that you can pick up some ideas from as well. Okay, so as you know, when you get this journal, it comes undated, and I did show you guys a quick way to date it once you're setting it up. So what I did was I laid out these numbers in the dots the way that they should line up, and then I saved it as a sticker so that every month all I do is pull that sticker and then align that first day to the first day that the first day of the week that month starts on, and then just rearrange the rest of the numbers around it. Okay, so that's a quick way to do that. So let's get started. All right, so I am going to start. Usually the way I go about setting up my spreads is I pick something that I really like the color of so that I could have a color palette lined up. So I am going to go to my background and I am going to pick this one because I really like those summer colors, and I'm going to pop it on here. And I think I'm going to want something bigger to cover the whole background, but I'm going to start there because I like that background, okay? And then I am going to go to my notebook. And I have already built a collection for my notebook covers and for front covers and papers so that it's readily available right inside Noteful, which is the app that I use to plan, okay? So I'm going to go ahead and pull this one. And as you can see, it's already resized. All I have to do is just line it up. And then I like to just tap on the links to make sure that I'm really close to them. Okay, so there's my cover. And now I am going to move to the paper layer. And I am going to, let's see. Maybe I'll do the craft one. Oh, it was already sized to fit, and there I go messing with it. Actually, no, I don't like that. Okay, well, I'm going to give you guys a sneak peek as to what is coming for the Unbothered. I have created color changing elements for this journal. I did not include this in the initial launch because I wanted to keep that journal. I wanted to keep the use of it really simple. It's perfect the way it is. You put the elements on and you're ready to go. For the people who really do like the extra customization, I have put together a color changing file specifically for this journal in portrait and in landscape. Okay, so I will show you what that looks like here. So this is the paper, okay, and the cool thing about it is that it's color changing, okay? Just like my other color changing lineup, it is tied to a font. So you install the font and then you install the collection into Noteful and GoodNotes, and then you are going to be able to change the color of your papers, okay? So the only thing you do is you tap on it, you hit style, and you pick a color that you want. So I'm going to go with this light blue. And that looks pretty cool. I like that. So it just gives it another look. It's just another way to customize the Unbothered, but also easy because it keeps you right within this application. You don't have to jump into Affinity, Procreate, or whatever other graphic design application you use. You can do that right here without having to use anything else, okay, if you don't want to. I also see this being a really cool thing for people who like to overlay textures. You can take, you have that font, you can type out that letter in Procreate or Affinity, and then you will have the shape of the paper, and then you can clip whatever texture you want to clip to it to make it different as well. So the customization options are really endless with this, okay? And I wanted to provide you that, but also make sure that I didn't kind of interfere with my vision of the Unbothered, which was ease of use, okay? But also customizability. Okay, so now that I have my paper, I do want to bring something to your attention regarding these particular color changing elements, okay? When you click on it, you'll see that there is a bigger selection border around it. There's no way I could get around that. It's part of the font construction process, and when shapes are irregular sizes, that is going to happen, and that's just something that I have to work with at this moment in time. That's the way that it is. If that really bothers you, it's a very simple fix. You can actually copy that into your Pages app, which is a free app on the iPads, and then you can cut it or copy, whatever you choose to do. I'm going to move this out of the way. Actually, I could delete that real quick. And then paste it in, okay? Then you're able to crop those handles down really close if it bothers you. It's not really going to bother me because I put it on its own layer, so I will not be really in there selecting it after the fact. But that is a way to get that selection layer, that selection box to go away, okay? And it's also the way that if you wanted to really distort this, that's the way that you would be able to do it. You have to flatten it and convert it into an image from that font based that it is, and then you're able to manipulate it in more ways. Okay? So that is the paper. Let me move this slightly over a little bit. Okay, there we go. Now I am going to go to my tabs and I'm going to change out the tabs. I'm a tab person. I think it does something for whatever I'm working with. It ties in my color palettes. It kind of gives it like this nice framing effect. It just looks good. I've been a fan of tabs for a long time. I've been doing them for a long time. And I wanted to do something different for the Unbothered, okay? I have created color changing tabs for this journal. I just, I thought I've gotten requests to do tabs for it, so that you're able to match them with different color kits and things like that. And I love that. I love that idea. However, I don't like the idea of me recoloring them and then selling them, okay? It's just me. I know that there's a better way, and I'm not saying this to knock any other creator or anything like that. We do the best that we can with the abilities that we have and the tools that we have at our disposal, okay? I know that there's another way, and I use that way quite a bit. So I am going to give you guys that way as well. So instead of me putting up tabs with every one of my kits and things like that, I'm going to provide you with the ability to have endless color of tabs at your disposal right from your app, okay? That's just the way I am. Again, because I know how to do it, I feel that I have to, okay? So in this upgrade to the Unbothered journal, there is also going to be tabs, all right? Customizable tabs. So I'm on my tab layer, and here is the tabs. And these you might have to resize just a little bit because I resized them. When I made them to fit the actual tabs on the background journal there. And sometimes when we size up the notebooks, it might just throw it off a little bit. But then you just kind of put them on how you want. Okay. And then all you do is style, tap, and then pick a color. Let's try those beige ones. Oh, I like that. That could be cute. Oh, I don't know. Let's see. Maybe green. I like green with blue. I feel like it just looks so beachy. It's great. I like that. Okay. Actually, hold on. Bear with my creative process here, because now I'm thinking this would look better. Oh, see, that's what I want to show you too. How I collapsed that layer, right? I took it into Pages, I turned it into an image, and I brought it back in because I wanted to get rid of those handles. Now that is no longer color customizable. Okay, I got rid of that ability once I flattened it. So now I can't change it. But if I change my mind, I'm on my paper. I'm just going to go ahead and pop that paper back in that I can change. And now I've decided I want that actually to be like this sand color down here. Yeah, I like that. Okay. So that's how I do that. Let me go back to the tabs because since I'm here, I might as well show you some of the stuff associated with this. So like I said, you just tap on it, you hit style, and then you get your color picker and you kind of find a color that you like. That's good. All right. So these will also come with, oh, not that one. I wish that there was a way that you could label what your stickers are inside, your elements here. But we can't. So we'll make it work. Okay, so the tabs will come with white text and they will also come with black text, okay? So you have that option if you want to switch them out. But it doesn't stop there. So if, let's say, you want to change the font out, you don't want to use the included font here, and you want to match your own font. If you ungroup that, you can move that out of the way. All right, you see how it's just another piece to it? And you can overlay your own text on there too. So then what you can do, I have one set up that I did. So I went ahead and put the text that I wanted on here. And then you can save that. You can take your blank tab with your customized font on it and then group everything, group the letters first so that they are in their own group, and then group it to the tabs. That way, if you want to ungroup it, grab your text and change the color of that. So let's say I want to match it to, I don't know, let's just use this for example right now. Well, that doesn't really show up that well. Maybe I'll do this brown. Well, you get the idea. That way, if you want to change the color of the text, you want to change the font of the text, you can do that as well. Okay, so that is another option that you have. And I am going to go ahead and group that so that it is on its own, grouped together, and I can move them together. Okay, so there's that. But I also didn't stop there. I like the ability to mark off whatever month that I'm on, okay? So the base planner comes that way. Every time you click on a month, that little button will blacken out and let you know that that's the month that you're on. And I wanted to continue that with the color changing elements as well, because I think that's pretty cool, and it gives you that visual cue as to where you're at. So I've also included this little tab that you will line up So this one, you're just going to overlay it on the month that you want to select, okay? And then you will put your own text on it. And then that way you can have that contrasting color on there as well. And I've also included, for when we get to January, the full tab for January, so that you can select that one too. So that you can cover that one too. Okay, so those are some of the elements that will be coming. And I think it just gives you a little more to play with, a little more customization options for the Unbothered. Okay. All right. So now I'm going to show you how I put my grid back on. And that is going to go on my templates. So in order to line that grid back up the way that it is with the numbers, I'm going to go ahead and shut off the notebook and the paper. Okay. And I am going to go with, let's do white. So you just bring it to the corner, and I already have this size to fit. That's the way I saved it in my sticker, but I'm going to position it just a little better here. There we go. And if I turn my paper back on and my notebook back on and my background, now it's all lined up. So that's how you would go about putting your overlay. So we have our notebook in, our tabs in, our paper in, our numbers are in. And then you go and put all your decor on here and put in your dates and all that good stuff. So as far as the layering goes, if you wanted to put something behind the cover, like I said, I use this particular sticker here. I use that layer there. I'm actually going to... let me get rid of this and go with something bigger. Let me pop this one on here instead. Oh, I like that. And then maybe I'll grab... oh, I love these trees. Let me grab this. Paste it over here. Oh, that looks cute, but I just want this one side. So I'm going to crop that down. All right, I like that. That looks really cute. And I have that done. So let's say that I want something behind my paper there. Let me see if I have something here that would be cute. Could I put... maybe I'll use these little leaves. Let me click over here and then I can just... thought I had... yep, let me put that right here. And then I can arrange that to the back. So it kind of looks like it's popping out from behind that page. Like I said, that would look really good with a bookmark, like just anything. You just be creative with it. It's so much fun. I can go to my month date here and I could title this July. And you don't have to stick to the script or the fonts that are on it, Make it your own. Do whatever you want with it. This little open spot over here on the side, I thought could be really cute for like a dashboard. That's how I did my other one. So I am going to put that right there. Kind of a place where I can just put a running list or important dates or important events or things I have to do. And then I am going to match that to this tab green. I like that. And like I said, with these color changing elements, what I like to do to make them look a little bit more dimensional, I like to take them into the Pages app and paste them down and apply a little shadow to them. Even do this one. I'm gonna cut it out of there and put it back over here. And I don't know, it just makes it look more dimensional and gives it a whole nother look, okay? And then I like this. There was this month on here that I like. And I can style that to whatever color I want it. Okay, there's that. Okay, so that's how I go about setting up the month. That's my layer sandwich. Those are some of the new elements that are coming for the Unbothered. And I hope that this was helpful for you guys. I hope that you got some ideas on how to set up your journal. And if you have any questions, please let me know. Talk to you soon. Bye.